guys, Mark here with another fragrance review. This time let's tackle the house of Tom Ford. I'm going to take a look at his private blend line, one of my favorites from the private blend line. This guy right here, a YouTube legend. Your favorite reviewer probably reviewed this. Let's throw it in the YouTube Fragrance Hall of Fame already. Now this guy right here, this is my very first full-fledged review on Tom Ford's private blend line. I decided to go with, of course, my very first purchase from the private blend line, Tobacco Vanille. I decided it was fitting to go with my very first purchase. This fragrance, I'm going to give you guys a little story. I blind bought this back in, I'm trying to figure, I think it was 2009, 2010, give or take. And I purchased this blindly off Base Notes. I went on Base Notes and I was like, this is right up my alley. If you're a vanilla lover, a gourmandish lover, and you like challenging notes like, of course, tobacco or leather, all mixed into a fragrance, this is right up your alley. If you have the same taste as me, this one is going to blow you away. Either way, it was a blind buy back in 2009, and when I first opened this fragrance, I first sprayed it on my hand. I brought it up to my nose. That first 10 seconds, sniffed my hand, and I was like, magic. Magic. And it still has that same effect on me in 2013, and I'm almost done this bottle. If you guys could see this, I wish I could put it at the light. There's about 20% of this bottle left, and this is juice that you spray one or two and you're good to go. And it doesn't spray that much juice, so definitely that's a feat in itself. It's one of my favorites for fall and winter. If you don't follow my top 20s niche lists, you see this one peppered all the way through. Now, Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, I would say this is probably his most popular fragrance from the private blend line, and most likely his best selling. Definitely when I see a lot of our splitters in the community split this juice, it goes like this, guys. There's a lot of love for this fragrance, and for good reason. This is a reason to purchase a fragrance for this type of price tag. For me, production wise, it does it, and as far as scent wise, it does it. It's an absolutely stunning fragrance. Now, if you're new to the private blend line, this is your first take on private blend, you're like, oh wow, Tom Ford has a different line, you must sniff this. I highly recommend, I'm putting my reputation on it, I highly recommend you smell this fragrance before any other private blend fragrance. This is where you start. Start where I started. Now, I'm not going to guarantee this is going to be your favorite from the private blend line. Probably not. It might be. You might have the same taste as me, and it might be. But if you take a look behind me, there's absolutely stunning fragrances from the private blend line, but this is really going to give you a good grasp or a good idea of what the private blend house or Tom Ford's line is all about. It really is a good stepping stone to check out the rest of the line. So let's get to it. Let's take a look at presentation for Tobacco Vanille. Alright guys, time to tackle presentation for Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. Since this is my very first full-fledged review on a Tom Ford private blend fragrance, I decided I'm going to go a little more in depth with the presentation just to let you guys know, especially the ones that are new to the line, a few tidbits about presentation. Now, what you see here is what you get with a Tom Ford private blend fragrance. They all come in this standard box and bottle combo. I like when niche or high-end luxury brands do this. They look very good. As far as a collector goes, you put them all in a row, they look good. Now, let's tackle presentation. Now, first and foremost, I just wanted to let you guys know, this is the standard look of the private blend line. Now, there is some fragrances from the private blend line that will come in different color schemes. So you're going to see the bottle in different colors. Some examples are Neroli Portofino, Lavender Palm. They will come in different color schemes depending where you purchase your fragrance. Now, those fragrances also come in the standard private blend look. So if you do find, let's say as per example, Lavender Palm, which has a white bottle instead of this standard look, they also have it in the standard look. So just to let you guys know, there's, if you're thinking that it's a fake just because it comes in this color, not the white, just let you guys know, FYI. So let's take a look at the bottle and the box. First and foremost, of course, the box. As you can see, it's got like a grainy look to it. We got Tom Ford stamped in gold at the top. And then you got a sticker, Tobacco Vanille, EDP, some information here. Then some in the back here. And at the bottom. So that's your standard boxing. If you lift it up, of course, you got that's where the bottle gets held, and it closes like so. Right, let's take a look at the bottle, guys, and as you can see here, the Tom Ford Private Blend line, their bottle presentation I think is top notch. You know, very simplistic, elegant. It's not an eyesore, and definitely if you have a collection of private blends, it really looks good together. As you can see here, it's got the gold sticker, let you know which fragrance you have, and at the bottom there's a sticker here. There's no other information on the bottle. Now if I remove the top here, the cap is plastic and it's got a gold plaque with a Tom Ford engraved in the middle of it. I really think this is a nice presentation, especially looking at your whole lineup with this gold plaque. Really, really nice. Sprayer is very small, guys. It's going to spray a little bit of juice, and that's all you need from most of these private blends. Are very potent. So your 50 milliliter bottles are going to last you quite a bit, especially if you do 1 or 2 sprays. Like, the sprayer is not the greatest in the world, as you can see here. Very small mist, and that's it. So it's not, you know, a Creed sprayer by any means, but you don't want that for Tobacco Vanille. So let's get to the review, guys, and I'll let you guys know what this fragrance smells like to me. Alright guys, time to tackle bottle sizes for Tobacco Vanille. It comes in the standard, the 1.7 ounce and the 3.4 ounce bottles. If you really want to go into a split or something like that, there's also flacons available. That is 8.4 ounce of juice. Now this guy right here, just to let you guys know, this is the smallest bottle, the 50 mil. You're looking at pricing. I believe Tom Ford has increased their pricing just recently on the private blend line. I believe it just went up a little bit. It's going to run you around $200 to $500 American retail to purchase one of his fragrances, including Tobacco Vanille. I know in the UK, I believe one of my UK friends can get the private blend for a little cheaper. I know he was able to get them for me for around 150 for some reason. I'd love for somebody from the UK to comment down below. Let us know if it's actually cheaper in your area. Now, concentration. This is an EDP, guys. This is an eau de parfum, highly concentrated. Now, Tobacco Vanille hit the shelves back in 2007. That's the year the private blend line was introduced to the Tom Ford line. And this was, of course, part of that initial launch. Now, awards. Has it been in any of my top 20 lists? It's peppered. Ever since I purchased this fragrance, it has steadily stayed in my fall and winter list. Let's take a look at them. Now, in 2010, it made my top 10 niche. For fall at number 7, and then of course that same year for winter, again another top 10 list, it made at number 9. Now in 2011 made my top 20 fall and winter niche lists. In the fall it made at number 10, and in winter it made at number 9. And of course in 2012 I don't have my winter list out as of yet, but I do have my fall niche top 20, and it made at number 9. So you can see that this fragrance, I wouldn't say it's, you know, one of my top niche fragrances that I like to wear. As far as top 5, I would say. As you can see, it's at the bottom half of the top 10 list. But again, a solid fragrance to make that top 10 list every single year. So it's in my rotation, basically. Now group, this is an oriental spicy fragrance. That's something that a lot of people actually tend to forget to mention when they talk about Tobacco Vanille, is actually the spice in this fragrance. It plays a large dominating role in this fragrance, and I can't wait to let you guys know about that. Recommended age for Tobacco Vanille. Well, this one's kind of pricey, of course. I would say 25 and up, just because of the price, of course, but also just because it has a little bit of a grown-up feel. Tobacco always has that grown-up feel to it. This is a unisex fragrance, but I really feel like it dips more into the masculine side of things, to be honest with you guys. Yes, it's got like a honey note and vanilla, which are kind of like more feminine, but then again, it's got, of course, a huge tobacco and, of course, a lot of spices, and I think that's more towards the men's section, but I wouldn't mind a woman wearing this, of course. So just to let you guys know, it is marketed as a unisex fragrance. Now, how many sprays and where I go? I go 3 sprays with this guy, 1 on the chest, 1 on each side of the neck right here, and I'm set to go 3 sprays. You're good to go with Tobacco Vanille. Really spraying more or even less is less efficient, to be honest with you guys. 3 sprays, 2 on the neck and 1 on the chest, you're set. Good to go. Let's take a look at the note. Now the note breakdown: in the top we got tobacco leaf, aromatic spice notes. In the mid we got tonka bean, vanilla and cocoa. And in the base we got dried fruit accord and wood sap. So let's get to sniffing. Let's sniff out Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. It's time to sniff out Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. I've been waiting all day to spray this fragrance on my hand. So let's do initial spray on my hand, and I'm going to let you guys know what this fragrance smells like from top to bottom. Now this one always described as a simple scent. You got tobacco, you got vanilla, and that's it. Is that the whole story? Let's sniff this sucker out, and I'm going to let you guys know. This introduction never gets old, by the way. Beautiful. Now, what does it smell like? What hits you right off the bat is the sweetness. The first thing that hits my nose is that vanilla sweetness in Tobacco Vanille. Second thing that hits me is the spices, the forgotten warrior in Tobacco Vanille. The spices are a major player in this fragrance. They play from the top right down to the bottom of this fragrance. You know, those 12 to 18 hours people are saying they're getting with this fragrance. Yeah, the spices are there the whole time. And of course, the tobacco. Now, the main players, the main man here, I would say in this introduction would have to be the spices and the vanilla. I really think the vanilla plays a large role, and so do the spices. In this introduction, right when you first sniff it, third fiddle is actually the tobacco in this fragrance, in the introduction, when you first sniff it. And that's why some people actually say, I don't smell any tobacco in this fragrance. To those people, I think you're crazy. But in the intro, I could see why you're going to miss the tobacco, because it's heavily spiced and it's heavily into that sweet vanilla. Now, tobacco, third fiddle. Now, as the name on the bottle suggests, to be honest, I can't miss the tobacco leaf in this fragrance in the introduction. Now, when I first smell the tobacco in this fragrance, right when I first smell it, I'm thinking, when I walk into a cigar shop, they have like the back end where it's all basically a huge humidor, and you get to sniff out the different cigars, the high-end cigars. That's what it reminds me of. Unlit cigars, just walking in that humidor, talking to that guy that knows a lot about cigars. Yeah, that type of feeling. Now that's matched with the honeyed sweetness. Now that the sweetness is of course the vanilla, but it's honeyed sweetness, almost syrupy like. And the more I was dissecting this fragrance, the more the vanilla in here felt like it was the backbone, and also it was so well done. It actually reminded me of the vanilla and Spiritueuse Double Vanille from Guerlain. Now, anybody that knows me knows that Spiritueuse Double Vanille is my favorite vanilla-based fragrance of all time, and it has that sort of DNA in Tobacco Vanille. The vanilla in, of course, Spiritueuse Double Vanille, and in here, kind of has like a vanilla extract or a vanilla pod with a little bit of booziness to it. It really is a higher end note. Really well done. Now I was also kind of gathering in this introduction, in the back end of this fragrance, to be honest, a dried fruit of some sort. It kind of reminded me of a Serge Lutens fragrance, to be honest, with the dried fruit when it came in. Now you may miss the dried fruit in this fragrance because it's not a huge factor. Now the dried fruit, I tried to pinpoint what kind of dried fruit we have in Tobacco Vanille. Really what I came to a conclusion of is either prunes, figs, raisin, that type of dried fruit that you get in this fragrance. It kind of gives you that little bit of punch. Now it almost kind of gave the tobacco and of course that vanilla, it almost kind of gave you like a flavored vanilla, I wouldn't want to say vanilla cherry, but a vanilla with some sort of dried fruit tobacco cigar. It didn't really remind me of a high-class cigar. It kind of reminded me of a low-class cigar, to be honest, like Backwoods or something, like a flavored cigar. I know, like, I don't, like, this is a high-class scent, and trying to compare it to a $5 cigar is just ludicrous, but definitely it smells great. And just comparing it to a low-grade cigar doesn't make it a lower-grade fragrance. I mean, it just has that flavored tobacco feel. It's not like a punchy tobacco in a fragrance. Now, the tobacco here at some points in this introduction, once it dries down just a little bit, it kind of reminded me of those nights overseas. So every Friday night, me and the boys, we'd have a poker night. We'd play some poker, and we'd have like those cherry vanilla dipped cigars and play poker all night overseas. And it kind of smelled like the cigar smoke stuck on my clothing after the night was over. That's what it smelled like. It still smelled good. if you like that type of stuff. Really like manly, you know, a guy with stubble on his cheek. Yeah, that type of feeling. Now the spices, I want to tackle the spices a little bit, the forgotten flavor of Tobacco Vanille. The spices play a huge role in Tobacco Vanille's intro. Actually plays a huge role in the whole fragrance, but in the intro, it is the one flavor that was missed in the title. They should have called this spiced Tobacco Vanille. The spices gave me like a baking-like spice. Of course the vanilla kind of helps because it's kind of like a vanilla extract, but it kind of felt like, the spice felt like more of a cinnamon, clove-like, baking-like spices, not something that's sharp like a pepper or something like that. This intro is very sweet, it's dry, and with just the right amount of spice to top it off. The introduction is an excellent introduction in a fragrance, well blended. Bravo to Tom Ford. Now let's go into the mid. Once this dries down, not much changes here. Some people will call this fragrance very much linear. I agree to a point. Now, the thing that I noticed the most in this fragrance was the tobacco kind of really toned down. It wasn't more of a humidor or you know, a smoke on your clothing type. It kind of smelled like my grandpa's pipe. I remember I said that in a video somewhere. It might have been in one of my top 20 videos, that, you know, I found my grandpa's pipe when I was like young kid, and I smelled the inside of the pipe and it had that smell. This is what that has, that smell, my grandpa's pipe. Nice soft pipe tobacco in here, then more than a humidor now in the mid. So it kind of tones down quite a bit. Now the great vanilla note does linger, and it is the backbone of Tobacco Vanille. The more I wore this fragrance, the more I felt like the vanilla was your major player in this fragrance. It really is your backbone, and it really shows its depth here in the mid. It really kind of felt like this fragrance almost gave way to being more of a tobacco-based fragrance in the top, to more of a gourmand vanilla bakery type in the mid. The bakery feel here is backbone, of course, by that vanilla extract. Kind of honeyed sweetness with, of course, the spice, mostly the cinnamon cloves combo. And it kind of felt like some brown sugar, cocoa-like feel, resin-like almost. It really did remind me of like spice cake or gingerbread. This is when things get really interesting in the base. Now this fragrance lasts quite a bit on your skin, definitely. This is a 10+ hours type of fragrance. Now, once you get into the base of this fragrance, the base lasts quite a bit. You know, you got a few hours with it. The base of Tobacco Vanille really reminded me, and others actually, which is kind of strange for me, reminded them of Tea for Two. Now, it doesn't smell alike from Tea for Two. Now, Tea for Two smells like kind of like chai tea. In Tobacco Vanille, it really smelled like a vanilla chai latte. Take up the huge coffee note though. It really reminded me of that. That's like one of my favorite drinks overseas, the vanilla chai latte. Really sweet. It's got, of course, that cinnamon. You get that tonka, the vanilla, a little pinch of cocoa, the spices, the cinnamon, still going strong, and of course the honeyed sweetness. So definitely an interesting base to this fragrance. Really well done by Tom Ford. Overall, a beautiful medley of notes in Tobacco Vanille. Let's get to the overview. Alright guys, time for the overview on Tobacco Vanille. Even though Tobacco Vanille is a very loud fragrance, you'll see projection longevity through the roof, it has a smoothness to it. The tobacco is done just right. Not too out there, not too crazy, not too bold. The vanilla, not too sweet. It does have a sweetness to it, but it's not overly done. The spice notes are toned down spices. You know, you got nothing too crazy like a pepper in here. Really blended excellently, and really from hour 1 to hour 24 on some people, it really keeps you entertained. This is perfect for people that love sweet scents like me, gourmands, and of course fragrance that are a little darker and challenge your nose. This is the best example of you can keep it simple as a theme and use as few notes as possible and make a great fragrance. You don't have to go crazy with the composition and the notes. Tom Ford did absolutely great with a simple theme of tobacco and vanilla. This one is so good that it's in the race for not only the best tobacco scent I own, but also the best vanilla based scent I own. Probably would make the top 20 of each list, to be honest with you. Really well done. that well done. It's heavy, it's warm, perfect for winters, to be honest. It's almost a signature scent for me in winters. Wearing it daily and also at night. Very cozy. It's all I ask in a tobacco and a vanilla scent. It's warm, comforting, it's heavy, and it's really thick. It really does well in these Canadian winters. Now, a feature that I'm going to introduce on mostly fragrances that are, $150 and more per bottle is a price versus quality feature. I just want to let you guys know, is it worth your money, right? To me, Tobacco Vanille is excellent for price versus quality. It excels in every category. It's beast for longevity and projection. It's unique as a scent. It's high quality. It's complex. I can wear it dressed down and dressed up. It's highly versatile for winter-based as far as the fragrance go. If you're just going to wear one scent for summer and one for winter and fall, this could really be your signature scent for winter and fall. For me, I know a lot of people just want to wear this for special occasions, but for me, I can wear this all the time. Absolutely great. Now, why would you hate this fragrance? Well, there's a lot of things to hate about Tobacco Vanille just because it is one of those kind of scents. First and foremost, linear. You can get bored of this fragrance pretty quickly if you wear a lot of it. Too strong and potent. Some notes are going to be potent into your nose because it is a strong scent. It may be a little too much for you and it will tackle your nose a little bit. If you're looking for a straight up tobacco-based scent, this one kind of shares the limelight with a lot of other notes. So this might not be what you're looking for as far as the tobacco-based scent. Same thing for vanilla lovers out there. It might be, there might be a little more than what you're bargained for. And this one actually reminds people of spice candles or potpourri. And I can see why, because of the spice in this fragrance. So it'll remind you of kind of like Christmas time. And it may not be something that you want to wear on yourself, but something as you would use for a room spray or something like that. So kind of hefty price for a room spray, I would say. Now, bottles. What does this remind me of? Well, Tobacco Vanille, of course, is on a league of its own, to be honest with you, as far as what it gives me as a scent. The vanilla in here reminds me of Spiritueuse Double Vanille by Guerlain. You must check that out if you're a vanilla lover. Some compare this to a cheaper alternative of Eau de Beau. Definitely not the same type of ingredients as far as what you're looking for, depending on what you're looking for. But Eau de Beau is a solid scent, to be honest with you guys. And some compare this to Pure Havane by Thierry Mugler. Now, best time to wear this fragrance. I love wearing it at night, evening, formal. You can wear this with a tux, or romantic. Yeah, you can wear this on a date. I wear this one casually, even though for the price some people may not agree with me. I like wearing this one. I'm wearing jeans and a dress shirt and I'm going out. I'm going to wear this, especially if it's wintertime. If it's cold out, I'm wearing it. I wear a lot of this casually, to be honest with you. Compliment factor. Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, to be honest with you guys, again, another one of those scents that I felt it could have got better in the compliment factor, but I'm not the one that judges it. It's middle of the road, to be honest. I've sold a few bottles wearing this fragrance. So yeah, it's pretty high on some people's list. When they smell it, they're like, wow, I must have this, and they buy a bottle. So I've sold a few, but to be honest, it's 50-50. It's not overwhelming as a fragrance. So a compliment factor, not overly over the edge. My 2 cents. As you can tell, Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. It's always in my niche top 20 list for cool weather frags. And it's never really a top 3 fragrance for me in those lists, just because it's not, I wouldn't say it's not unique enough, to be honest. It's warm, it's comforting, but I like something sometimes to challenge my nose a little more. And it's an excellent scent that never really falls out of favor from me. Some scents do that. This one really doesn't. It stays steadily as like a number 9, number 10 in my top 20 niche list for fall and winter. It's always in the rotation. It's an excellent scent. It smells great. It's a cold weather staple for me. A must sniff. Now, buy, try, or pass. This is going to be an absolute buy for me. I really think that once I'm done this bottle, which I probably will be in the next couple coming winters, I am buying another bottle of this. There's nothing else that does it like this. It's very unique. And as far as a high-end luxury item for a bottle of $190 or $200 for 50 mils, I think it's definitely worth it. So an absolute buy. Let's go to the rating system and see what Tobacco
let's
Vanille
rate
does.
Tobacco Vanille projection. 9 bottles out of 10, almost beast mode, very much solid. It gives me a good 5 to 6 hour great scent cloud. Then it's a skin scent for the rest of the life of the fragrance. Talking about the life of the fragrance, longevity, this thing is beast mode. 10 bottles out of 10. 12 to 18 hours on my skin, any given wearing. This thing is beast. Versatility, 8 bottles out of 10. I think it's a little more versatile than people tend to say it is. If it's a cool day, during the day or night, I wear it. Overall smell, 10 bottles out of 10. Seasons, winter, fall, during the day or night, and a spring cold evening, I wear this. Great for an upscale event or casual use alike. It's my favorite from the Tom Ford line. It's a great scent to check out early in your high-end luxury fragrance exploration. This scent is a 10 out of 10. Welcome to the Perfect 10 Club TV.